Well, Mahjoub Zweri joins us now here in the studio. He's director of the Gulf Studies Centre here at Qatar University. Good to speak to you again, Mahjoub. Salah al-Aruri, he was deputy leader of Hamas, founder of Qassam Brigades. What impact will his death have on Hamas as an organisation?
I'm not sure it will have a major impact in terms of structure functional. Hamas have lost many of its leaders in the last 2 decades, but it becomes stronger and stronger. I think what is significant about his assassination, the fact that it did hurt Israeli a lot in the last 15 years in 2 things. One, he was able to bring strongly the resistance actions to Western Bank, which was not preferred by the Israelis. And the second one is he pushed to the Palestinian unity, and especially with Fatah. And that was not a preferable choice to the Israelis. I think those 2 issues have pushed Israelis and kept him on the top of the list. But I'm not sure it will have any major impact on the functionality and the role that Hamas is playing within Palestinian politics as a whole.
So why do you think he was targeted, and why now?
I think, to me, there are 2 or 3 reasons behind it. One, I think the timing was very critical. You know, first of all, it's Beirut. It's in terms of security, it's not really strong base. He was moving between Turkey, Beirut, and Syria. Syria was not really the place because security was absolutely zero. And I think Beirut, you know, the way how he's targeted brought to me 2 main events developed in the last 48 hours. The first one is the American withdrawal of the main military ship from the Mediterranean, which is I think Gerald Ford, and that was a major help to the Israelis. Came to the region in the 9th of October, and the second one is actually the decision made by the Supreme Court in Israel, where they cancel all of the arrangement or the decision about the reform, which gave the government more power over the courts. And that was basically creating an obstacle before Netanyahu inside Israel. I think those 2 elements, if I put them together, they pushed Netanyahu to go and change the dynamic and bring another element, which the assassination, which he already actually made it clear from week 1 that he wanted to assassinate all of the leaders of Hamas outside. I think he is basically creating a new dynamic in the war since 2nd of January 2024.
So what impact do you think it will have on negotiations for a ceasefire that was sort of starting to be bandied about again, and also the hostage release? Does it put an end to all of that?
There are 3 scenarios on the table. The first one is actually the escalation. And I think we have to wait and see what Hassan Nasrallah will say tonight. The second one, which is, I call it a designed escalation, which basically allowing Hezbollah and other factions to go to the end, to the point, and then gradually reduce that escalation by intervening from different parties. And the third one is moving toward a ceasefire. And this will never happen unless we have 2 main conditions. One, pressure from within Israel and Netanyahu, and this time should happen maybe from the military institution and the chief of the staff and his team, and also pressure from the United States on the political elite in Israel to move to change the status quo, because everyone now understands in Israel and globally that this is a Netanyahu war. It is not even an Israeli war.
And we talk a lot about Hassan Nasrallah's speech later to see how Hezbollah might respond, because, of course, this assassination took place in a Hezbollah stronghold.
Absolutely.
In a part of Beirut. But how do you think Hamas might respond?
I think at the end of the day, Hamas is on the ground. Hamas in Gaza, Hamas in the West Bank. And I think the reaction will come within the geography of what's so-called Palestine. So that is the main, I would say, area they will respond to. I think the response may come as part of this war now by increasing the number of rockets on Tel Aviv and other places, maybe bringing a new generation of the weapons they have. There are different tools, but at the end of the day, Hamas will deal with it within the geography of Palestine and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict rather than anything else.
OK, Mahjoub Zohri, great to get your thoughts. Thanks very much for joining us.
Appreciate it.